Hello and welcome to episode 225 of the Daily Sales Message, where every single day I share a piece of simple, actionable advice that's designed to help you feel more confident and sell more stuff. And sometimes I share a story or an anecdote, and that is one of those days today. So today's episode is entitled The £20,000 Sip of Water. £20,000 sip of water. Now, I have a really good client of mine. He was pitching a new potential buyer. He'd worked at all of his sums, and he realized that the project that he was proposing to this buyer would be £50,000 thereabouts. Maybe not precisely 50, but in the ballpark of £50,000. So in the conversation, in the pitch, he tells them, this is everything we're going to do. It's going to be £50,000. Then there is a slight awkward pause. And at this point, I generally encourage people to take a sip of water to stop what happens next. So in the nanosecond where he stopped talking and they were listening, and he felt a little bit nervous about what was going on because £50,000 is a lot of money, he found himself saying, but we could maybe get it down to 30,000 if we cut a few things out. So for the want of feeling a little bit uncomfortable in like a second or a nanosecond or not even 2 seconds, he then dropped the price by 20,000, or certainly made it feel like the price could be £20,000 less, just because he felt awkward. And all that was really happening, I'm sure, now I wasn't on the call, I didn't hear a recording of it, but I'm sure all that was really happening was the person was computing that figure, and okay, 50,000, can we afford it? And so for him to then steam in straight away with, but, put him in a bit of a difficult position. And that's why I encourage people to take a sip of water after you present the price. And you should always verbalize the price where possible. Tell people what it's going to cost. Then take a sip of water, because it forces you to shut up. Ultimately, forces you to shut up. Because for not taking that sip of water, this chap has potentially, we don't know just yet, but potentially cost himself £20,000 just because he felt a bit odd. So the next time you verbalize the price to somebody, take your time, take a sip of water, slow down, cool your jets. Because if you start talking too quickly, you could backtrack, undo things, or just come in with a lower price because you feel a little bit odd. And trust me, I did it myself in the early days when I was selling, so I understand exactly just how pressuring that feeling can be. But I also know from this side of the coin how expensive that feeling could be. Absolutely. Right, that's it for this episode of the Daily Sales Message, an anecdotal episode of the Daily Sales Message. Tomorrow, in episode 226... we're going beyond the sale. We are going beyond the sale. I want to talk to you about that because we spend so much time talking about getting up to the sale. Well, what happens beyond it? We'll cover that tomorrow in another exciting edition of the Daily Sales Message. In the meantime, if you haven't already, hop on over to LinkedIn and connect with me. You'll find me there, James Newell, Clear Sales Message. Drop me a DM. Let me know what you like or don't like about the podcast, anything you'd like me to cover in a future episode. It's always lovely to hear from listeners and viewers of the Daily Sales Message. I'll catch you tomorrow.